Motivation's temporary, right? It's like the ocean. It comes in waves and cycles, and ultimately it's what can they use for their entire life to carry on to get the results that they want. But one of the things that I noticed when watching motivational speakers is that they come in there and their end goal is like to motivate the students. Say, I believe in you, you should believe in yourself, which is noble. But as Shed Helmstetter, PhD in positive psychology, says, people here know over 40,000 times in their life. So one yes, is that really going to change who they are as a person? I approach it from a little bit of knowledge. Show them how does the mind work, and then ways they can actually change who they are to become who they want to be.
And so it's one thing for somebody to tell them, it's like, hey, you have to have a plan, and then you have to follow that plan, but it's more important that when they can actually see the person who's telling them that is living that plan.
Yeah, I'm standing right here, obviously it's possible.
But I wanted to hear what Jeff had to say, and you don't get that without that connection and understanding. So for the kids to hear, not just here's his story, but to also put themselves in the spot of how's my brain working, what are things that become factors in what I do, I think is the biggest element, because a lot of our kids have made mistakes for years and they go, well, that's just who I am, this is how I'm going to be, but they've never really thought about that they could play a role and what are the factors that they need to think about where they can change that language, that body language, that thought of who they are.
What happens is that they might hit a wall at a certain point. I mean, very often we do in life. And that wall is usually mentally created, whether that's past conditioning or some sort of phobia. And not unless they know how their mind works, they won't be able to dismantle that wall in order to overcome that and achieve what they want to.
I was always told that I was stupid, that I wouldn't get anywhere in my life, and this just tells me that I can if I put my mind to it, if I just get into a different environment and really work for it.
I can relate to how he feels, not the symptoms, but just how he feels.
I mean, honestly, I was almost in tears. I've met a lot of people that have hard times, and I mean, if they could have saw that, they would be in a totally different place now.
They said you should just change yourself from the inside, not with outside help.
He seemed like a really intellectual person, and he just has a story that most of us can relate to.
I've never seen someone with that many issues, when they were growing up, and then knowing that it really wasn't gonna stop him, he just kept going.
Not saying this just to say it, but in all the years that I've been here, we've had a lot of speakers come and go, and never have my kids been so connected and listening to what had to be said.
He understands.
I feel like I learned more from him than my math class, to be real.
It was different from all the other speakers.
To sum it up, I'd say it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
For students to understand, or anyone actually, to understand there's a difference between who they are and who they think they are. Because who they think they are is just past conditioning, the results in their life that dictated where they are up to this point. But who they are is something else. It's the potential. It lies dormant and within the future. And if they can make sense of that and they understand that there's a difference between the two, then that opens up the gateway for them to live the life they want.